Welcome to the Circular Industries Talks. I will be rating the talk as Rut is on business trip. And today we welcome Agata Zarnowska. She is from Collins Aerospace, project manager at the European Innovation Hub that's in Houten in the Netherlands. Agata is also case holder of our master thesis lab over sustainable aviation last year. Right on the same. Yours, Agata.
Thank you, Alice. So thank you everyone for joining. It's a pleasure to speak here today. My name is Agata Zarnowska, and I'm a project manager in the European Innovation Hub of Collins Aerospace, which is also called Advanced Technology and Laboratory, as you can see here. And our team is developing innovations for aircraft interiors. I will bring this topic further in the presentation. What does it exactly mean? And the topic of the presentation is sustainability at Collins Aerospace. And I will first talk about what Collins Aerospace is actually doing. Then I'll go through how do we look at sustainability. And in the end, I'll talk about the very recent research that we are developing, how to measure sustainability in case of aircraft products. So also how the weight of the product is contributing to the emissions of the environment. So starting with what Collins is. So we are the leader in technologically advanced intelligent solutions that help redefine aerospace and defense industry. This is very generic statement. I'm sure further you will understand better what actually we're doing. So we are part of a big company called RTX. This is the American company that is owning three also very big companies. One of them is Collins Aerospace. Second is Pratt & Whitney, the engine manufacturer. And the third one is Raytheon for space and military. Total RTX has 180,000 employees. So we are actually the biggest aviation and aerospace company in the world. Collins itself has around 80,000 employees, so still very big and actually the biggest out of these three presented here. And the way I like to present what Collins is actually doing is that, imagine that Airbus or Boeing is giving us the aluminum tube of an aircraft, and Collins can provide everything that goes inside around the aircraft for aircraft to operate. Of course, we never provide all the products because this is not what we are usually asked for, but we can deliver all these products. We are built by the strongest, and the company had a lot of mergers and acquisition, but the basics are stemming from the big innovators, such as innovators in avionics, also in propeller systems, in landing systems. So we have a pretty strong history behind the company. And the strategic initiatives are the initiatives that we try to bring forward by doing our work. And these are the big seven, how we like to call it, such as autonomous operations, connected battle space, cabin experience, connected ecosystem, developments for electrified aircraft, integrated solutions, and structural technologies. So all the products that we are developing are trying to contribute to these seven strategic initiatives. And the company is a big company and is structured in business units. And we have 5 business units each business unit is focusing on a certain group of products that has something in common. So, for example, we have advanced structures. And here the team is focusing on landing system, propellers, nacelle systems, and many others. Then we have the team of avionics. And this team is focusing on aircraft sensors, airport systems, cabin management systems, also fire protection and air traffic system. Then we have another three, and the first one from this is Interiors business unit, and this is the business unit our department, innovation department in the Netherlands is based in. So we are focusing on aircraft seating, cargo system, lavatories, lighting, de-icing products. So everything that you see inside the cabin are the products that we are developing, but also something that you cannot see, such as de-icing systems or evacuation systems. Also, the kitchen equipment is something that we are developing, so it's called galley and galley inserts. Another business unit is mission systems, and this is more focused on military-related products, such as communication, navigation, also ejection seats, and different space solution unmanned aircraft systems. And the last one is the power and controls. And here the team focuses on air management, electric system, different engine controls. So as you can see, the portfolio is quite big. And this is how it is divided. So we have a pretty good balance between commercial and military, with a stronger emphasis on commercial. Then also we do provide original equipment manufactured products, but also we do take care of aftermarket. These are the numbers when it comes to employees. So 80,000 employees around the whole world, with a strong focus on engineering workforce. And in total, we have 250 plus sites globally. So we are present almost everywhere. And here it's how it looks like. So you can see that US is strongly present here. Around 60 to 70% of employees is working in the US, and this is also where the leadership is based. Then also very strong presence in Europe. And here, specifically in the Netherlands, we have three different sites. So my site is based in Houten, and it's a site of interiors. We have also a site in Almere for advanced structure, which is historically called Dutch thermoplastic components. And the third site is in Maastricht, and it's an MRO site for power and controls. Also, we have a strong presence in Asia. You can see many countries we are there. And now going a bit towards sustainability topic. So when it comes to sustainability, we do focus on these four initiatives. So because sustainability is not only environment, it's also social sustainability, it's also economic sustainability. So that's why we are also focusing on collaboration, how to inspire people, how to work with customers to bring better future. Also research and development. So for example, my site is the example of it, to provide research and development to develop more sustainable technologies. And then different product solutions. So how this research and development can be implemented in the products. So for example, we can produce more lightweight products or less energy requirement products. And the last one is the environmental impact. So how we can also operate more efficiently, how we can produce our products using less energy, less resources. And these are the sustainability strategies. So we have stakeholder engagement. So we are working with customers, how we can also bring the products that they put in the aircraft to be more sustainable. Also working with different consortia such as IAG, which is International Aviation Environmental Group. So here, for example, we participate in the talks how to standardize life cycle assessments for aircraft products. Another strategy is technology roadmap. So how we can develop our products in a way that they are more sustainable. So once you put it in the aircraft, they are producing less emissions, or also are manufactured in a better way, or can be recycled. So these are the technologies and developments that we are focusing. Also, yeah, bringing hybrid electric propulsion in place, also supporting 100% SAF components. And the last one, but not least, is the industrial roadmap. So, yeah, in the Netherlands, we don't have that many big manufacturing sites, but for example, in Northern Ireland or Philippines, we have really big manufacturing sites. And what we are trying to do is to reduce the impact of the environment of these sites. So since these sites are are needing a lot of energy to manufacture our products, we are trying to use to go through more renewable energies, for example, or to reduce CO2 emissions. Oh, sorry. So here are the types of products that Collins with also Pratt and Whitney is developing. So the one with the highest impact, but the shortest timeline is, of course, in the aviation industry, highly discussed sustainable aviation fuel. So here Pratt and Whitney is leading this development, but Collins is also supporting to have components that are SAF ready. Then also we are doing some developments when it comes to hydrogen. This is more research and development phase, but also, yeah, with Pratt and Whitney together, we are trying to bring hydrogen propulsion further. Another one, which is also very shorter timeline and medium impact, is the lighter weight energy efficient systems and equipment. And this is where interiors is a big player, and why I will also explain in the further part of the presentation. We also are developing different hybrid electric propulsion systems. And the last one, which is here, is the aircraft trajectory and ground operations improvements, which is mainly the work of our avionics team. And this is, sort of similar description, but in a different form. So these are the different sustainable initiatives, sustainable technologies that Collins is doing. Yeah, such as improving engine efficiency, hybrid electric propulsion, SAF, and hydrogen. Also, lightweight products, energy efficient system, and road optimization. And now I will go through a topic that our team in the Netherlands is working currently on, and this is a fuel burn model. So, how we started with this is that we thought, okay, we got many requests from engineers actually how their initiatives to bring weight lower are impacting the environment. So they wanted to learn what's actually the kilogram of reduced weight of a product means for the environment, if it's actually something that it's worth developing, because sometimes we need to switch from aluminium to carbon fiber to bring the weight down, but then to develop carbon fiber components, it's way more polluting for the environment. Also, you cannot recycle in the end. So what we are trying to understand is that how this weight is actually, like how big player the weight is in this whole life cycle of a product. And we started the collaboration with TU Delft to provide this research. And we had a great student from TU Delft, Alejandro, that was working based on internship with us and developing this. And we had two professors from TU Delft that were supervising this. And this research paper was presented in January this year in Toulouse towards Sustainable Aviation Summit. And the research paper is called Every Kilogram Counts, a simplified model for estimating aircraft emissions reduction through mass minimization. I don't think it's possible to find it online yet. I can provide the link because I have the link from the conference provider, but it's not in the journal yet because it's a very fresh paper. So we started with this, that of course we know that there is a big targets coming in 2050 net zero targets, and we were thinking in interiors business unit how we can play a role in it, because we know all that SAF is a big player to bring aviation's emission down. We know that hydrogen is a big player, electric propulsion system. But then we in interiors, we're sitting, okay, we also do want some change, but we need to first understand how impactful we can be. So then we thought, okay, let's discuss how this, what's the benefit of mass reduction? Because this is something that we can do relatively fast, because SAF will be there in maybe 5 to 10 years in a bigger scale. Also, hydrogen is now delayed even by Airbus, so we expect this to be like maybe 2040. But mass reduction is something that we can do within 2-3 years and bring it to the market relatively fast. And we also research what's the predicted weight reduction of interiors based on the past developments, and the Fly Zero, the research from the UK Research Centre, provided an input that actually they are predicting that there is a potential 20% interior weight reduction to 2035. And this is actually aligned what we are thinking in the business. So we took this number and we tried to understand what this 20% of weight reduction means to the environment. So the key contribution of the paper is that the methodology that is described there is data lightweight. So we encountered in the beginning of creating this fuel burn model issues that many data that we try to access, like aerodynamic data or propulsion data, are not something that you can freely access. And we had this issue that we couldn't find many data such as lift to drag ratio or thrust specific fuel consumption. So then we decided to approach in a different way and use different formulas. And this method actually allowed us to do the fuel burn model with only publicly available data. So this was the first contribution. The second contribution was that we also could validate this across different aircraft types and mission profiles, and results were actually really good when it comes to validation to other available fuel burn models. And we have the ready-to-use tool that we are using internally, and the methodology is very simple, so very easy to recreate it. So we based our methodology on the fuel fraction approach. This is the approach from Reimer that was described in the paper in 1992. So this is not something very new, but it actually works, and it works perfectly for our cases, because in this case, it is really good for small weight changes, so up to around 2% of operating empty weight. And this is exactly what we are looking from interiors point of view, because since interiors are around 10% of operating empty weight, so reducing 20% of interiors brings us to 2% of operating empty weight. So this is the range that we are interested in, and it is based also on the assumption that the mission fuel fraction, that is landing weight to takeoff weight, remains constant for, again, small weight changes. And these are the formulas. So the formulas are pretty basic, really easy and straightforward methodology. And we decided to try it out. Maybe and validate it with the other more comprehensive methods to see if we can do it actually in a simple way with only publicly available data. And this is the results from our validation. So we compared our estimating landing weight, because this was the unknown that we had from the formula in the previous slide, with the known landing weight and with the FAST. And FAST is the simulation tool developed by NASA and University of Michigan. And FAST is really amazing tool, but it's more for future aircraft sizing. So you need to have a lot of data about mission profiles, about aerodynamic data, propulsion data, to create like sort of a new aircraft. So it was not really a case for us. We wanted to learn what's the fuel burn for current aircraft, for current fleet, but using FAST and inputting the data of the current fleet, we could do this comparison. And these are the results where the mean absolute percentage error is actually lower than even 1%. And this is both for single aisle aircraft and for twin aisle aircraft. So yeah, we were very happy with these results. And of course, this is again for small weight changes. So you can see here the operating empty mass change is relatively small. So here are some results from the model. So, for example, when reducing 1% of operating empty weight, we could reduce 0.73% of the fuel and CO2. And here are some numbers for narrow body, wide body. So how 1 kilogram of weight reduction from an aircraft is contributing to saved fuel per hour of the flight. And what was very surprising for us that, as I mentioned in the beginning, the 20% mass interior reduction is possible. And this 20% of mass reduction of interior impacts that the operating empty weight is reduced by 2%. And this actually brings us to 10 million tons of CO2 saved per year. And this is sort of an emissions that Barcelona is emitting per year. So then we thought, okay, actually interiors can play a really big role in all the efforts that we are doing to reduce the weight of interior products are actually gonna benefit the environment substantially. So here it's how it works, the model. So first you need to gather aircraft data. These are publicly available data, such as what's the operating empty weight, what's the usage hours. Then you need to estimate what's the feasible weight cut. So in our case, we usually understand what's the new product is bringing, what's the weight reduction that the new product is bringing in, and we can use this number, and then you plug it into the model. And in case, that's the limitation, that the model is accurate for 2% of operating empty weight. And in case you need larger modification, this could be combined with more comprehensive methods. And in the future, what we want to do is to also do some altitude optimization in the model to provide also different SAF scenarios. So now with this model works for kerosene, so we know what's the emissions for kerosene fuel. But in the future, we also want to learn what's going to be this when we have X% of SAF in the fuel. And we don't want to stop only by learning what's the CO2 emission. We also want to learn what's the NOx emission, also other environmental impacts. So this is something that we will be working on in the future to learn. So the final takeaways is that the model is data light. You don't need a lot of data, especially not with any confidential data to use it. Also, it has been validated in comparison to different publicly available models, more comprehensive ones. The weight reduction of interiors can have real world impact, and the method is very practical. It's very easy to use, and also it provides an opportunity to further develop it, and for example, learning how SAF, hydrogen, hybrid electric aircraft is going to look like. And my final takeaway is that actually the interiors is something that we can do now. So we can work on the weight reduction and even a couple of kilograms in a product, that when in case you have a lot of these products in the aircraft, is actually contributing to the environment substantially. So yeah, that would be everything from my side, and I'm waiting for your questions.
Thank you, Agata, for your very nice presentation. It was nice to see what you do in general at Collins, and to dive in the concrete topic. Yeah, the floor is open for questions. Who wants to shoot first? Matthew.
Yeah, thank you very much for the interesting presentation. I'm curious about the model. Did it just focus on CO2 emissions, or did it also integrate other types of emissions, such as methane? Or yeah.
Yeah. So for now, we have a minimum viable product, and this means that it's only CO2 emissions. But we don't want to stop there. We want to learn what's the other emissions, such as NOx, SOx, and also other environmental impacts. So this is just the beginning, I would say.
Okay, thank you.
I think that Isabella also has a question in the chat. You want to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you mentioned Collins Aerospace focusing on 4 sustainability initiatives. Can you elaborate on how these initiatives are integrated in the core's overall business model? Well, I can speak for myself, what I can see in the company. So, for example, the fact that this innovation hub that I'm working in has been created in the Netherlands 3 years ago is the evidence that research and development investment, because we are working on TRL 2 to 4 to maybe 5. And what we are doing is any innovation that we are developing needs to be sustainable. So that's why there was a need to create these tools to understand actually how we impact the sustainability. Also, when it comes to product solution, yeah, every time we bring something to the market, we try to bring a product to the market that is more sustainable and that brings lower environmental impact. Also, a lot of investment for when it comes to manufacturing sites, so to bring them to renewable energy such as solar panels or wind energy. So this is something that it's highly developed now, and Collins has some goals. Actually, RTX has some goals that we try to reach. So I think until 2030, the goal is to reduce 46% of emissions from our own facilities. So now there is a lot of investment to do so. And when it comes to collaboration, so company is very supportive to also the initiatives like this, to create these research papers and to bring also different countries together to understand also the sustainability. I hope I answer your question, Isabella. I think I did.
Does anybody else have a question for Agata? I do have a question. You said that those are innovation and mass prediction that you can bring to cabin equipment that in 2 years it could be on the market. But what do you do with certification? Because as far as I understand, this is also a big
certification
component take into account.
Yeah, that's true.
To that?
So there are different initiatives on understanding the certification process already in the research and development. So once we, for example, do a research on a new material, we are already in the development stage, try to understand what does it mean for certification. And then, yeah, once we have it in the product, yeah, it takes time to do certification. So yeah, maybe 2 year is a bit optimistic, but it's certification, it takes around a year to do. So I would say, yeah, within 5 years we can have refreshed products which are certified.
Questions I keep on shooting, but anybody else? Very frustrating not to see any faces. But, okay, I was wondering because now you have a model that yeah, calculates some effect of mass reduction, but does it still based on current setup of the cabin, or do you also consider a new setup like having less heavy seats for first class, or less equipment, or less luxury on board? Also a lot of weight.
Well, what we can do is to advise our customers, but in the end, the choice is from the customer side. What's the layout?
Okay. There are a lot of questions in the chat. I can read them out loud.
Okay.
Yeah, there's one from Otto. 20% weight reduction will increase monetary costs. Is this also about 20%, or do you expect less or more?
Yeah, we don't know that. I'm sorry, Otto, but the thing is that also, okay, it will increase the monetary cost, but also the fact that you reduce 20%, like that you reduce fuel consumption, it's also bringing a lot of costs down for the airline. So then, for example, in case the product is more expensive because it's more advanced product with advanced materials, it might be more expensive, but then airlines will save money while putting this product in the aircraft because they will save on fuel and on future carbon taxes. So right now we are working on this to understand what's the trade-off, but I don't have the clear answer right now.
Is that okay for you, Otto? I think, yeah, Isabella was before you, Amar, in the chat. And Isabella asked, do you find it easier to get certification on products that contribute to emissions reduction, or is there no difference to conventional solutions?
No, currently there is no difference because certification is about safety. So you need to meet all the safety requirements. And yeah, and these are the same for the product category. So as long as the new advanced materials or the new layout is meeting all the safety requirements, you are good for the certification.
And the second part of the question, and where do you see the biggest barriers to implement legal side?
So I would say that yeah, legal side, maybe like the certification side, because sometimes we would love to do like recycled material products, but currently this is not possible due to certification, due to the requirements from various parties. So yeah, I would say that maybe refreshing the certification to give more space for yeah, recycled products that would be great. So this is a current bottleneck.
Thanks. Amar, and shoot.
Hi, Agatha. Thank you for your presentation. My question is that you mentioned Collins Aerospace being part of the a larger network under RTX. So what I'm curious about is that the 2050 net zero targets that you and your sustainable uh, uh, business model and policies that you're making at the levels of Collins Aerospace, does that extend to the whole RTX? Are these at the level of RTX, or are these unique to the Collins Aerospace in terms of both the business model as well as the specific policies that you're taking in terms of fuel management and others?
So this is on RTX level. All the sustainability goals, all also ESG reports are on RTX level. And then our sustainability team in Collins is working with the sustainability team of RTX to bring them information so they can publish all the information from all the three companies separately.
Have Jamie in the chat. Would you like to ask the question yourself, or shall I guess not? Sorry. So he asks, you also mentioned roadmaps during your presentation. What were some interesting findings looking at these roadmaps?
Roadmaps. Sorry, I'm not sure exactly which roadmaps do you. Is it this part? Can you?
No, it was further in the presentation, I believe, at the beginning.
Okay.
Further.
This one?
No, a bit further, I think. I thought I saw some, but maybe I'm just wrong.
Well, this
you
is
mentioned
kind
like
of the
technical.
roadmap.
You mentioned two roadmaps, like technical roadmaps and another one, but I think it's.
I think this is what you are.
Yes, right. Yeah, the technical roadmap
Okay.
and yeah.
So your question is, what were some interesting findings looking at these roadmaps?
Yeah, I don't know if you. Yeah. No, go
Yeah,
ahead.
sorry. So what's actually very interesting for me and what I like to mention every time I'm having this presentation is the participation in IAEG, which is now working to standardize the LCA across the aviation industry. So working with other big players in the industry. So how we can use the same databases, the same softwares, because with sometimes it's not easy to have the same common sense, and with aircraft products it's also very specific because weight plays such a big role. I really think that this is interesting that soon, I think 2025, it's supposed to be finished. We will have some more defined ways to do life cycle assessments for aircraft products. So I would say this is interesting, and also the industrial roadmap. I think it's very important that we bring the emissions from our own manufacturing sites down, and this is also a lot of investment to do so right now. And I think it's a really great initiative. And also, technology is also a great way to advance it, because without technology advancements, the aviation will not go much forward.
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think Kevin was another question in the chat.
Yes. Yes. So I have questions with regards to the certification that when you answered Isabella questions, you said that certification usually become the bottleneck, and that certifications should also give more space to the sustainability product. And then you also mentioned that certification usually concerned about safety, which I agree. So I'm a bit confused when you said that certification should give more space for sustainability product to grow. What that's supposed to mean? Is it means that the threshold in the certification should be higher, or that or should be a certain threshold for the sustainability product? Because as you said, certification is concerned about the safety.
Well, what I mean to give more space is to allow even, just allow using recycled product materials. So currently this is not possible, and I don't mean here that we need to set a different threshold because safety is the most important. It's just a lot of materials that are recycled are meeting these requirements. It's just the requirements from various parties is to use virgin material.
Okay, thank you.
Question in the chat is about your sustainability report. Apparently, RTX's first report cannot be found online.
I can look for it. Like ESG report is for sure there. I'm not sure about CSRD, but I can try to look for it and get back to you.
And always send it to me, but yeah, because I don't see the name. So if I have the report, who I send it to? I only see Edu on the name. I'm sorry.
So yeah, I think if you can send your details, then we can get back to you with this question.
Any other question from the audience? So then I think we will your presentation for today, Agata. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much
for being present, and yeah, we'll see you next time. So next time will be over 2 weeks. That talk has been cancelled because we have a live session on the 1st of March at Blue City about regenerative futures. Venue, I think you details. So our next online session will be on the April. Thomas Fishman from Center of Sciences. And thanks to you all, and have a great day.
Yeah, thank you. Have